What's up, it's your girl Lucky Charm. I'm at Talk a Little Ish, but I don't mean no harm. And I'm back with another video talking about Tati and James Charles. And the reason I'm talking about this is because, I've been sort of keeping my ear to the streets and just hearing what people have to say about this. And yesterday in my YouTube suggestions, after I got home from work, there was a new video that was suggested to me. And the video was by Tati, and it was titled Why I Did It. If you haven't seen the video, I suggest that you don't watch the video because it's basically her talking about a whole lot of nothing. Basically exploiting her newfound success and celebrating in James's demise. At least that's what I took away from the video. In this video, Tati is on camera and she's, crying crocodile tears about why she did it, how she would give back all of the success. When she said that really caused my eyebrow to raise. Why she said I would give back all of the success, and the fact that you equate success to someone else's demise for me is really telling because I would not have even correlated success in relation to what is happening here right now because it's not success because easy come, easy go. These people who are following you are not following you because they necessarily like you. They're following you because they're hating on James and trying to send some sort of message to James. But you'll learn that the hard way. People are fickle. And this is proven by how easily people were persuaded to unfollow James without really knowing the ins and outs of what happened. I just think it was pretty stupid. So she's in the video, she's crying. I would give back all of the success in a heartbeat. I still love him. First of all, did you ever really love him? Is that's the question for me. Did you really love him? Were you truly a friend? Because if you were truly a friend, this should have never played out on social media. We should know absolutely nothing about this. If you were truly, quote unquote, a friend. Friends don't do that to friends. Friends don't air friends out on social media. Can we put that on the t-shirt? Can we get that on the t-shirt, please? Friends don't air friends out on social media. That's just not because friends are friendly, right? By definition, in order to be my friend, you have to be friendly. And when you post a video online about how essentially calling this boy like a level 2 sexual predator, when you post a video, that to me is a hostile act. That is not the act of a friend. And if my friendship with you is so fragile, then all it takes is me not promoting a product of yours because I'm trying to put money in my pocket. I'm not trying to take money out of your pocket. I'm not, downing your product. I'm not telling people not to purchase your product. I'm just taking advantage of an opportunity that's been presented to me to put some money in my own pocket. And because I chose to put money in my pocket instead of putting money in your pocket, somehow you feel like you've been violated. Now, we're going to talk race here for a second, right? And I know you guys are probably thinking, okay, well, what does race have to do with James versus Tati being that they're both white? Let me tell you why race has something to do with this. When I see Tati on camera, what I see is the literal manifestation of white privilege. I said it. Oh, yes. I said it. Sure did. And I meant it and I will not take it back. She is epitomizing white privilege. And believe it or not, even in white privilege, there is a hierarchy. And I think that James's Achilles heel was believing that he was so untouchable that he forgot that he was still a gay man in America. He forgot that. He got so high on his horse that he drank his own Kool-Aid and didn't really see that at the end of the day, in the hierarchy of white privilege, a gay man is several rungs beneath a white woman. Several rungs beneath. And the reason I call it white privilege is because Tati had absolutely nothing to be angry about. James didn't come on to her husband. James didn't come on to her brother. James didn't come on to anyone who was really. We're talking about a waiter. A waiter. That's like me being mad at someone for coming on to the person who's to my Lyft driver, or to the person who's packing my groceries. After you pack my groceries, and I'm in my car and at home, I don't even have a recollection of you, because not to say that you're not important as a human being, but the interaction between us is so minimal that there's not a long standing connection that I feel to that person. So Tati is so impressed by an issue with a waiter, it just doesn't make sense to me. So to me, that feels like a person who's grasping at straws, a person who's looking to find fault. Who gets mad? Like I would have gotten mad if a person mistreated a waiter. Like if you're, talking sideways, not your mouth, and disrespecting a person who's in the service industry, yeah, that would probably piss me off. I would be pissed off at the situation, and maybe pissed off on behalf of that person. But when I take my friend and when I air them out on social media, no. At that point, I would probably take a step back and evaluate that friendship and decide to myself, say to myself, is this someone who I really want to be friends with? And if I weighed the pros and cons and looked at the situation and I was able to use discernment to say, nope, this person doesn't fit in with my beliefs, my values, what have you. This is not a person that I want to be friends with. Then I walk away. What I don't do is open the door, throw a grenade, and then hide my hands and act like, oops, I didn't mean to cause that. And that is exactly what she did. She is throwing rocks and hiding her hands. And I see it. I see it for what it is. It is the epitome of white privilege. Tati has everything. She may not have as many followers as James, but she has millions of followers. By all accounts, she seems to have a successful husband, a successful relationship. She seems to be doing well in life. Why would something as trivial as a person not promoting your hair vitamins be enough to set you off? That's a sign of instability. You are unstable, and I'm going to tell you what is causing the instability. It's called entitlement, i.e., white privilege. I am white, and therefore I deserve X, Y, and Z. I deserve more than you have. Are you crazy? Are you crazy? And I feel bad for James because I hate to see this. I hate to see James being. I give James a pass, right? I'm not completely oblivious to some of his misgivings, misdeeds. I definitely understand that this is not a person whose hands are completely clean. I understand that, but when a person is 2019, I do give certain provisions based on that person's age because there's a lot of room for growth. A lot of room for growth. I'm sure that there are probably certain things that people could say about Tati. I'm sure there are probably things that people could say about her marriage. Who knows? Maybe her husband is uh, not being faithful. Who maybe their finances aren't as good as they appear to be, and that's why she's so upset about these vitamins not being promoted. But if someone were to come out and air out their grievances on social media instead of going to her directly and talking to her about it and call themselves a friend, I'm sure she would probably feel the utmost betrayal, as most of us would. So the fact that she goes on film, face beat, face is beat. Do you understand what I mean? She put on glitter shadow and had her hair done, and I mean she looked really pretty. I'll say that for her, but the message was still ugly. The message was still ugly. All of that makeup can't hide who you truly are. I see beyond the makeup. I see beyond the glam. I see you for the monster that you really are. You know, um, I hope that James is sitting down with Olivia Pope, putting together with his PR team, and staging the greatest comeback. I hope he's not hiding. I hope he's not allowing this to be defeated because at the end of the day, I stand by the statement. The man did absolutely nothing wrong. He is a man who is out here, who is single, who is dating. He is entitled to be attracted to who he's attracted to. He's not attracted to children. He's attracted to grown men, adult men who are capable of saying no at any given time. No one can force them into a sexual relationship. If you are induced into a relationship with someone of a sexuality that is different other than your own for the sake of profit or gain, that is called being a prostitute. And if you choose to be a prostitute, own it. Don't hold yourself out and then turn around and claim to be the victim because you see another opportunity for you to come up. And that's what I see from a lot of these guys who are now suddenly saying, "Well, James did this." And one guy even messaged inbox James, Why are you inboxing a gay boy? Why are you doing that if you genuinely have no interest?" See, the problem too is I think because of the patriarchal society that we live in, there are a lot of men who are probably um, sexually fluid, but because they're afraid to express that, they they hide. And now you want to try to vilify James and make James out to be some sort of supervillain, some sort of predator because he acted on his natural inclinations, which is the fact that he's attracted to men. People do what James do all day, every day on Instagram. It goes down in the DMs. Am I right or am I wrong? People sending messages all day long and some of the people who are probably sitting in judgment of James do the exact same thing that he's doing or that he's done. Which is send messages or shoot your shot at someone that you're attracted to. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So I don't like this lady. I'm gonna go on the record and just say I just don't like her. And my dislike for her, and keep in mind that I didn't know her until this video came out. I'd seen videos previously with her and Jeffree Star. I think they did a video I saw a while ago where they were like taking a private jet to Vegas, and she seemed really cool and really interesting in that video. And that was probably my only recollection of her prior to this video. But after I saw this video and saw what she did, you know, Tati, if you ever have a problem with someone, social media is, I don't know if anyone in your life is telling you this, but social media is not how you fix problems. Sus, you don't fix problems through social media. You create problems. You exacerbate problems through social media. This is not how you fix things. This is not how you heal things. And then to go on to social media and issue a quasi apology to James, I still love him. If you really love him, pick up a phone. If you really love him, the same way you ruined his career through social media, invite him onto your channel and have a conversation and dialogue with him in front of everyone and try to fix the issue and heal the issue in a very public form, the same way that you destroyed it. But you won't do that. You won't do that. And the reason you won't do that is because it doesn't benefit you. Right now, you are the victim. You are the people's champion. You're gaining followers by the thousands, by the millions. You know what I mean? And your brand is on the upswing, on the uptick. You probably sold more vitamins than you ever thought you would sell. But it's just sad that you had to do that at the cost of someone else's success. But just know that the same way you get it is the same way you'll lose it. Having said that, um, shout out to James Charles. I hope he is somewhere. If he's taking time away from the public, I completely understand that. But I think that it's the wrong thing to do. I think that he should be more visible because guilty people typically hide. Guilty people who are ashamed and embarrassed. Those are the people who hide and don't want to be seen. And I don't really think that he has anything to be ashamed of. There's nothing to be embarrassed of. You did absolutely nothing wrong. Be a proud gay man who's doing nothing but what is natural and what is instinctual to do as a gay man, and that is to be attracted to other men, whether they are gay, straight, or bi, or what have you, or even trans men, whatever the case may be. You have the right to be attracted to another human being. That doesn't make you a villain. If he were Bill Cosby, man, getting them drunk or high and slipping them roofies, then okay, now you have my attention. Now you have my attention. But if he's talking to you, if we're at the table talking and a fine dude walks by, I might be like, girl, did you see that? Did you see what I just saw? Oh my god. I mean, who, even women, do you guys remember there was gray sweatpants day, right? When is gray sweatpants day? Why do women like gray sweatpants? Go ahead, I'll wait. They're objectifying men because of gray sweatpants because we like what we can see in gray sweatpants. So how does that make sense? And we like and we fantasize about what we would do with that. So what makes James some sort of villain for talking about his sexual proclivities? If it was inappropriate and you didn't want to hear it, then leave the table or ask him to leave the table. But you don't turn this boy into a victim. It just really upsets me that, all of this in the words of William Shakespeare is much ado about nothing. He hasn't done anything. I'm Team James, and that's about it. So, like, comment, subscribe, and please share. Again, it is me, Lucky Charm, and like I said at the beginning, I might talk a little ish, but I don't mean no harm. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Have a great day.